initially 2 weeks, and then came back for an extra 2 months. Rwanda was there for about 5 days.
Damn.
And, yeah.
We was gonna say 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But then
what? But then what? Because you know what's so funny? Wait a minute. Let me.
It was more struggly.
Hi guys, welcome to Kenganda. My name is Janita Maya and this is the Repart podcast. I'll let our special guests introduce themselves.
Well, I go first.
Yeah, you.
My name is Trevante. We with the Freedom Chaser YouTube channel. This is my wife. She can introduce herself.
I'm his beautiful wife, Jessica. Hello.
Yeah, we here, man. We just want to appreciate you for.
I'm just here to tell you that Brother Trevante will beat one of you niggas.
Nah, I ain't trying. I'm non-violent.
I'm just gonna try to tell you.
I'm non-violent.
I'm gonna help him. O'Shea Duke Jackson, Sacramento, California.
Oh, boy.
Three African Americans on the channel. I'm glad to be here today.
It's beautiful. We actually have a special guest in the background, Saraya. She will be in the background.
Yeah, baby.
If you hear any sounds, just bear with us.
Yeah.
She's all right. She's listening in and she'll be commenting.
Give her 2 cents.
as she hears what we have to say. O'Shea, take this away.
So, I didn't want to really, trying to cover this topic. Y'all been blowing up. I see your videos get a lot of engagement, and I actually shared how I met you guys.
Yeah,
was I've been watching some of your stuff, but you responded to a video that I believe me and Mark is in the back right there. He's in the back there stuff.
Yeah, Mark tripping.
So you responded to a video that we did that pretty much agreed with everything that Mark said. But I think I had even shared some of your stuff before. I'm not sure.
Yeah, possible.
But I your husband and wife team, and the last video that I really got excited about was the country that you were choosing to settle in.
Yes.
And so I'm there I went to the comments to go cheat. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I think I know what country this is. But you were in Kenya, right?
Yeah.
And you chose South Africa. And before we get into some of the controversies there, a lot of African Americans are looking to come to Africa and repatriate. It seems like you're doing it very successfully. First of all, why did you want to come back to the continent, and then why did you choose South Africa?
Yeah, so we wanted to come back to the continent. So we was here before, like you said, in Tanzania. We lived there for 9 months. We had our baby and went back to America. We wanted to come back for the same reason we left the first time, and that was because we just felt like some of the things that was happening in America we didn't necessarily agree with.
Such as?
So, I'm going to break it down. So,
Go
we
ahead.
both were working in corporate America.
Okay.
I was more blue collar. And we was just, you know how it is when you're working and your white counterparts, they don't do necessarily the same work that you do, but making more money than you, right?
Right.
And so I didn't really like that. And then she was having some issues with her job.
I just hated it. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was,
Everybody that was like high up was stupid. Yeah. And you know how it is when you work a regular job. They don't know nothing, but they want to micromanage you. And it was just...
And just, you know how the rat race is in America. So we didn't like that. Then it was around the time of COVID. And we was looking at some countries we can go to where they wasn't really strict on wearing masks and being locked down. And we were just tired of everything and the police brutality, just everything that was going on.
Okay.
And so we decided we was going to look on, just research some African countries, and we came across some people. We did our research and was like, you know what? We just going to quit and we're going to leave and we're going to move to Africa. And our families,
what did they say?
Yeah, it was
like, for real?
Well, you know the misconception of Africa when you first tell.
Right.
So you could tell Black people, you go to Europe, you can go to you go to the Middle East, you can go to South America, and they won't have any issues with you going there. But as soon as you tell them Africa, they're like, why would you go to Africa? It's gonna be lions and
bush,
the
you're not gonna have no clothes on.
Yeah, like why would you go there
for animals?
Be with people where they gonna have machetes trying to kill you, all type of stuff.
Right.
And so, but overall, they was happy for it.
They were supportive.
They're
supportive.
Yeah.
My mom cried, like real tears.
They cried when we was leaving. They didn't cry when we told them.
No, they just was crying. So my mom thought I was about to get kidnapped by a witch doctor.
I'm telling you.
There's still time.
And she watched every podcast. Hi, Mom. So,
but we did that, and we decided to come, and we was in Tanzania, and so the first time. Then we left camp. So coming back, we now wanted to travel because we weren't able to travel because we had our baby in the way that we had her. You know, so we weren't able to travel. So now, all the countries that we decided to go to, South Africa, I feel like we connected with them the most.
Why do you feel like you connected with them the most?
I feel like some of the struggles that they had to go through, we went through some of those same struggles. Like we went through apartheid. And we was in slavery for over 400 years. So I feel like they can understand our plight a little bit better.
Okay.
And just, we're foodies. So I feel like some of the best food in the world was in South Africa. And just overall, we vibed there the most, I feel like. But every place we visit, we had our great experiences pretty much everywhere. And we loved it, you know. But that kind of caught our heart just a little bit more.
Yeah. I just have could you just give us how many countries have you been to in Africa and how long were you for how long did you stay in that particular country? Yeah,
we started in Tanzania, was there for 9 months. Then we went back for 2 weeks and when we came back. And then we went to Kenya, was there for initially 2 weeks. And then came back for an extra 2 months. Rwanda was there for about 5 days.
Damn.
Yeah.
We was gonna say 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But then
what?
But then what? Because you know what's so funny? Wait a minute. Let me.
It was more struggly.
Let me be petty.
For us.
Yeah.
Let's play that. Let's play the clip of Austin Holloman right now.
Oh my God.
Talking about Rwanda. But you've been to all the countries now in East Africa: Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda. Now, for those people who are in the diaspora looking to repatriate to Africa in those 4 countries, how do we compare the 4 in your honest opinion?
I would say Kenya is it's the closest thing to the United States.
Okay.
Rwanda looks like the United States, but it's nothing like it.
What do you mean by that?
The infrastructure is very similar, but it's not easy to do a lot of things, and it's not easy to get a lot of things either, like shoes. We go on a treasure hunt around Kigali to look for gym shoes.
Okay.
And he's calling people. There is no shoe store. So I asked him, where did you get your shoes? So he calls somebody else, and they don't have shoes in stock. So, where does the president get his shoes at? Like, I know somebody has shoes somewhere around here. So we go to this shopping strip.
Okay.
And there's shoes in the window it's like a mini Foot Locker almost.
All right, so we'll play that. So what was different from Rwanda then? Because you're the second person that says that. Because Austin was calling me in Rwanda like, I'm ready to go.
I would say everything was just more struggling. Like when we get places, you know, you're gonna get your phone service, you can get your app with your mobile money, you can get an Uber or a whatever. Yeah. It was more of a language barrier. I don't know if they can speak English or they just don't want to, but we couldn't communicate as well.
Okay.
And then I don't think they had Uber. They had something else that was more difficult. Like it was it was just such a struggle that we
Tigo
were
is
like,
Tanzania, right? I know you're talking about.
No, it was like Yago.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And honestly, the Airbnb we had was terrible.
Yeah. It was terrible.
It was terrible.
It was, I mean, we got there. It was
dirty. We talked about it in the video. It was terrible.
It was Rwanda.
Rachel.
No, not the country itself, but the Airbnb.
It was an Airbnb.
Oh, the
Airbnb was good, right?
It's clean.
Tamara, it was good? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We did suffer from some of the same things, like getting around. It took a long time. You need to have somebody there to help.
Yeah, you need to know somebody. Like we have just been winging it, and we could go to any country and pretty much do fine, but you can't wing it there. You need assistance.
Yeah, so it was just a lot more difficult to do to our everyday.
But it was developed though.
Yeah, it was the cleanest place I've ever seen.
So when we say developed, there's 2 sides to that, right?
Okay.
You got developed as in the way it looks,
right?
Okay,
and then developed as in your everyday processes, right? Like whether it be economics or whether it be just entertainment or certain things you want to do your everyday dealings. It wasn't as developed as the other countries that we were in.
Okay,
so it looked pretty, it looked really nice, but it wasn't a lot to do there.
It wasn't developed. It was developed, but it wasn't very like modern, I wouldn't say.
Okay.
But it was beautiful.
Because even
it was very beautiful.
Austin said he had a hard time even buying shoes.
I could see that. It
wasn't about no shoes.
Yeah, like when we got there, we went to we was looking for, because when we first get to a country, we look for a grocery store usually, until we find markets that we can, like local markets.
There's always a grocery store in the mall, so that's our safest bet.
So we went to like their top end mall or whatever, and it was they They didn't have much, to say the least.
Okay.
You know, so it was just a struggle finding your everyday necessities.
Yeah.
All right. So
and a
you've
lot
been-
of stuff wasn't on Google. You couldn't even just Google stuff
Yeah.
to do it
Yeah,
easily
yeah.
there.
So you've been now, you're in Uganda, but you've been to South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania.
Yeah, and I was in South Africa. I forgot to say it. For South Africa for 3 months.
South Africa, okay. Now, this, again, I was recently in Kenya.
Mm.
I think we did some podcasts there. In Kenya, some last month sometime.
He was there.
Yeah, I was there. I think I was there. So you were making a decision, and many people message us now because of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
This is called the Repat Podcast.
Right.
So you came to a really good decision to, maybe it might have been a country I would have made a little bit different, but
Yeah.
but the way that you guys did, I've never seen anybody do it before. It was brilliant. Why did you choose South Africa over Kenya?
That's so hard because we actually did a video talking about it.
Yeah.
And I actually said that I felt like I could be in either one.
She gave it time.
And so his vote kind of swayed it.
So husband, he the one
I
that
swayed the vote.
we going here.
I didn't do it like that because
yeah, he was deboing me and I was
Yeah,
like,
that black men, you know.
he was all aggressive.
You know how
with
black
it.
men do something. Yeah, it's always them black men from Louisiana. You know how they are.
For me, it just boiled down to kind of what I explained to you, right? Just the vibe. And the vibe was great both places, but I just
Right.
feel like I ain't gonna say felt more home, but South Africa was more
The
my
food
vibe.
tipped the scale. He liked
Right.
to eat. It was
Food was-
probably the food.
Yeah.
But just, you know, and for our business, I feel like, and which I said in the video,
Yes.
that it could prosper a little bit more in South Africa. Now,
Yeah,
I'm
he
not
was talking
saying it
about
couldn't in
starting
Kenya,
a business and
but
stuff.
start
He
the
felt
business,
like-
the particular business that I wanted to start, I feel like it could be better in South Africa.
Let me say this also. I know that South Africa gives the opportunity for. Shout out to Value Farm Grafton, Brother Greg. I want you guys to go there before you leave.
Okay.
He called me. You know, he's doing very well here in Uganda, and he was telling me that you know, for his farming business, he goes, it's common for a lot of people to go to South Africa and get goats and bring Boer goats and bring them here, Uganda, wherever else. He was telling me that he's getting ready to buy an apartment, possibly in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
And when I looked at South Africa as one of the few countries, even Rwanda, I believe, allows you to own freehold land, and that was very important to
Absolutely.
you. Let's talk about that because that's something that's not available for us here in Uganda for those in the diaspora. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, that was like we said, that was a big deal for us. And most countries that we visited, I think South Africa was the only one that you can get freehold land. Most other countries, you usually have to have a partner with a local in order to buy the land, right? Which we don't want to put our money or our
I would
property in
understand
somebody
that.
else's hands.
Right.
So that deterred us from a lot of other countries that we visited for that simple fact. So with South Africa, you can own your own land, don't have to have any locals, which I don't mind having working with locals. But if I'm putting all the initial,
There you go.
upfront
Yeah,
There
you
you
don't
go.
want to pay
I'm
the
not-
money.
come
and
on
it's
now.
really
I'm not-
yours.
yeah,
and
yeah.
we're just like, yeah.
Teach.
Yeah. So with South Africa, I feel like I can prosper more in that aspect when it came to business for that simple reason.
Okay. What about the wife? What did the wife? What were you? What did the wife want?
Honestly, I really could have went either way.
But what did you want if you had to pick one?
And I was asking her that too.
See, that was the thing. That's why when we made the video, I was
argued
like,
and
y'all gonna hate
argued.
my answer. Because I really did feel comfortable in South Africa. But I felt the same way when we were in Kenya. More so when we were visiting like Mombasa and stuff. I kind of like that better, but we were in Nairobi most of the time. But to me, I felt like I could see myself living in both of those places.
But if you had to pick one,
Look, why are you trying to start mess?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something.
I'm petty.
So now,
If you will position your business in any business, let's say YouTube or anything, and you feel like long term,
I would probably say South Africa.
right?
okay,
Because that's what it's
That's what
been
it's
proven
based-
so
yeah.
far for us.
okay.
So
For sure, South Africa. When it comes,
yeah,
to
because
that
we haven't
aspect.
tried to open a business yet, so I couldn't say from that standpoint. But if you're gonna say from a YouTube standpoint, then South Africa.
What if it was another? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure that YouTube is not the only thing that you want to do.
Yeah,
What are some of the
But-
other things that you might? You don't have to tell us what it is, but are there interests that you have outside of this?
yeah,
Yeah, and that was one of the deciding factors too. The business outside of YouTube, I feel like it could prosper more in Kenya. I mean, not in Kenya, in South Africa,
Right.
just
Well,
because
see,
of the
he just-
market.
You just said that now. You didn't trigger people.
So what? Because of the market, right? And so that's a fact. I don't care about triggering people. We all got opinions, so let's be
Right.
sure about it. And let's
Okay.
Yeah.
But who knows? Because we're in Uganda now.
yeah.
So-
and
But
that's
you
not,
guys here to visit though.
yeah. But you know, we travel.
But we're still
so-
seeing where,
and we don't have a
What are you looking for? Like, I mean, because you're a couple, you have
Baby.
your baby has all my pins over there.
Cutest.
Yes, she is making beautiful works of art.
Right.
That will be on
I can see
sale
it.
shortly.
So what I want to ask you is, as far as a country, what are you looking for? Because so many African Americans we have some people who are single moms, some people who are coming in with families or want to start a family. What are some of the things that you're looking for now that you have your daughter?
Well, I do want to be somewhere that'll be like safe and comfortable for her. But like I haven't been, I would say, as much thinking about stuff like, you know, how you think about, where they're going to go to school and stuff like that, because I don't necessarily want her to go to school. Like I
Yeah,
would
we
rather
homeschool.
homeschool her.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that is probably the biggest thing that I would think about.
Mm-hmm.
But since that's not the path that I'm trying to go, it
Mhm.
kind of takes it off the table. And then it's like, okay, well,
Yeah, for me, it would be for sure security. Just feeling safe in a place that we can reside. Education. If we decide to put our kids in school, where will they be the best? Will they get the best education?
Okay.
For the price, right? And then just overall, how we feel in the country, how we feel treated. How do we feel like we're treated well? Do we
Okay.
feel like we're hated? Like just
Let
all
me
around.
kind of talk about that because I watched some of your video, and obviously one of the things is xenophobia against other blacks in South Africa. You touched
Yeah.
on that,
Yeah.
and then also you guys did a really good job of summing up the possibility of crime because Johannesburg is known.
As a crime.
Yeah, it's quite dangerous.
Yeah.
A lot of women feel like they're unsafe there.
Mm-hmm.
But how would you manage that? You know, basically of what the people are saying, because Johannesburg is known for a city in Africa to be very
Yeah.
very
absolutely.
dangerous.
Yeah. It is.
Are you gonna live in Joburg or
Haven't decided that yet.
haven't said it yet? Okay,
But yeah, it does has that rap. But like we said in one of our videos, that I feel like people kind of blow it out of proportion to a certain extent, because we hear a lot before we even went to South Africa, like, oh, you gonna walk out the street, people will be trying to rob you. Like they make it seem like it's the Wild Wild West, and it's the most dangerous, like it's the Middle East during wartime, right? And it's just not like that. Most of the crime, I'm not saying it don't happen in the more upscale places, but most of the crime happen in lower, more impoverished areas where people have issues with each other, or people are low income, so they need money, so they're going out to commit more crimes. Now, these do happen in more of the middle class areas too, but not as often, right? And so, I would suggest people when they come to South Africa to stay in areas that are known to be more safe.
okay,
Just like if you were going to America, you're not going to, like you from LA or
yeah,
California.
both of them.
You're not going to recommend anybody go to Compton and be like, yeah, go to Compton and walk around and, it's cool. No, you're not going to say that.
It's a little bit better now than it was, but in 1986 with the Jerry curls, it's going down.
There's certain places, just like anywhere else, you're just not going to recommend people going. We recommend people to stay in the quote unquote safer areas.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, in your before you get to John, in your preparation to come here, because you're one of the few couples that are here and you've been successful
Mm-hmm.
in staying here, what are some things that people need to do? Because some people come here and they leave and they're not, but you've been able to
Mm-hmm.
be in Tanzania for
Almost a year.
a year, you were in Kenya for 2 months,
Yeah.
South Africa for
About 3.
3 months.
Yeah.
How have you been able to prepare to do what you're doing?
Yeah, I would just suggest people try to start something, whether it be online
Okay.
or try to, before you come to Africa, try to have some money coming in.
Okay.
Because the fact is your savings is not going to last forever. They will eventually run out. And Africa is more expensive than people really think it is.
Okay.
A lot of people come here and think, well, they can get a place for $100, $200, $300 renting every month. But then you look at those places coming from America and you're like, okay, this place don't have a refrigerator. This place don't have AC. Like, so certain things that you're used to, those conveniences that you were used to in America, now you don't have. So now the things that you want, you can't afford it. So a lot of those people eventually they end up getting those places anyway and running out of money because they didn't expect it, right? So
you have to buy stuff because we're used to
furniture.
You're working on a debt system in America. I can take this home and I can pay you however much every month
You
for
don't have
however
that.
many years.
And the biggest
You
thing
have to buy
is,
stuff.
and I would say the biggest thing is, you're going to be charged usually more when you first come. You don't know the prices, right? And so you come into these to these countries and they hear that you have an American accent. They're not thinking, oh, he's coming, just to live here. So they're looking at you like more of like a tourist. Like he got money. The price might be triple, quadruple. You don't know the price. So a lot of times you're spending more than what the locals might be spending.
There you go.
So that I would say, learn the pricing, try to have some income before you come in, and just you might have to live more uncomfortable, than you're usually how you would usually be able to live.
Can you explain before we go to John uncomfortable? What would that mean?
So, for example, we don't have AC right now in Uganda.
Do we have it here?
No.
We got these fans and shit.
AC is not that common in Uganda.
Oh well, I didn't even. But even when
We
we was in
noticed
Kenya,
that.
we didn't
Looking for
have,
Airbnb, most places didn't have
AC.
So we
we
saw
didn't
that.
have AC in Kenya. I mean, or South Africa. So that's something somebody might have to give up. Usually, the places where Airbnb,
You have to give up things, and you have to
higher
change
end.
your mindset in general. Because a lot of the times, from what I've seen, people that leave, it's more of a mindset thing. You want it to be how it is where you were, but you're somewhere completely different, and things are not the same. And if you can't acclimate to that, then you're going to be very uncomfortable and probably leave.
Yeah.
Let me just. Sorry, John. I don't know, man, but the wife,
Take your time.
ESCOM. That's the power system in South Africa, right? It's called ESCOM.
Yeah.
You guys also discussed in your video, I believe, from what I saw, that you have scheduled power outages going on right now. The grid is not so stable.
Load shedding.
Yeah.
Load shedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is quite bad from what I understand. It's even worse than when I was there.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Okay, let's talk about that because
But I mean, the from my standpoint, it's the fact that that it's happening. I feel like it's the inconvenience of it just shutting off.
Like
if
here
we
in
were doing
Uganda.
this right now and everything shut off, then that
Yes.
was a problem. But
Yeah.
if we know that it's going to be off from 4 to 5, then we're not going to do this from 4 to 5.
okay.
Right. So I feel like it took a little bit of it away. It was still annoying sometimes, but it was better because that it's coming. So either you prepare yourself
true.
or you don't.
That makes making a good point with that.
You guys mentioned the language barrier in Rwanda. First of all, Rwanda used to be a French-speaking country, and then they switched to English. So not everyone switched to English just like that.
Was
so
it
there's
French?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was French.
So there's a struggle.
Yeah, Belgium.
They said it was
Belgium,
something.
Congo, Burundi, Rwanda.
Yeah, they used to speak French, and
Gotcha.
most of them
They still do.
Most of them speak French, English, and Chinyarwanda, the language.
Yeah,
so I
I've
think
heard
that's why
that one,
the language barrier was there. But when you compare South Africa and Kenya in terms of communication, which country would you say is like more? Are you more comfortable with?
They was all speaking English.
Yeah,
South
yeah.
Africa,
Everywhere.
Kenya, everybody. I don't
Yeah.
think we ran into anybody that didn't speak English in
they're
either country.
very good. At
What about
speaking
Tanzania?
We saw there were people that didn't speak English.
It was so
But there were people
Tanzania.
that knew a few words, so they would start saying something, and then you would think they understood, but then they didn't understand because they said the words that they knew.
I would
So,
say for people speaking English, for like we having a dialogue right now, going back and forth. It was few in between. When we met a person that we can have a conversation with in Tanzania. So most people can understand, but speak it is a whole different situation. So it was it's for sure a language barrier if you go to Tanzania.
I have a question for the wife. Now we're calling her the wife on the podcast. Now, as a lady, you know how it's hard to sometimes get the beauty products that you used to in the US. The skincare products and whatnot. South Africa and Kenya, which one was?
honestly, even in Tanzania, I could find the same hair stuff. It might cost more, but I found a place everywhere that had stuff that I would get in America. Yes, mostly would deal with hair products.
Okay.
So as for hair products, I found the stuff.
What do you think is better in Kenya, South Africa? What do you
everywhere.
think was better price for you?
Honestly,
I
I don't
would know-
remember.
I would
The
know
stuff
that
was
more.
high. The stuff was high in Tanzania.
Not because I wear the stuff, but because I'm paying.
Because when
So
first of all, he loves to say that, but he's paying with our money. I don't know why he loves to say that,
listen,
but
okay.
he's the one that when I tell him how much it is, he's like,
Yeah. So I would say when it comes to her hair products, South Africa might be a little bit cheaper than Kenya.
Okay.
I don't know as far as what she's looking for, but the price for sure it'll be a little bit cheaper.
Yeah,
So
prices
her-
are cheaper.
Okay.
I think when it comes to like if you're gonna import stuff, I feel like they do that more and for cheaper prices in South Africa. I think that's
Yeah.
why
Oh, yeah.
that stuff is cheaper.
Yeah,
Because it was like really high in Tanzania.
yeah.
But I could find the same stuff, but it was like
But you think things are cheaper in Nairobi than Tanzania?
No, I would say
higher.
and that's
Higher.
I feel like that's kind of a misconception because a lot of people think South, since it is so developed,
Yeah.
compared to other African countries, that is very expensive. Now, some areas are expensive. Like when you look at housing, if you go into like Santon and trying to buy property there, it could be expensive. But on average, the cost of living is actually one of the cheaper countries that we've been to out of the
It's
five.
cheaper than here.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I had this price, everything is cheaper in South Africa than comparisons to Uganda. Even there's no doubt about it.
I think because more stuff you have to get imported here,
Right.
And so a lot of things are manufactured in South Africa. Not everything, but a lot more things.
Even cars.
Yeah. So yeah, that's true. Because in Tanzania, I don't think they manufacture cars at all. I'm not sure, but
All
most
of
of
that
the cars
stuff
were
was shipped
used
from like China
Yeah.
or something. They
Yeah.
all had like Chinese stuff
Yeah,
on there.
everything.
I think it was Chinese. It was Asian, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I do have a question about your social life. I presume that you guys still go out even with a baby.
Not at night. We go do stuff. We go eat. We
Oh,
go, we go hang out and do things. We do things that we can do with her. We don't leave the baby.
Before the baby.
Yeah, we
didn't really go out.
Yeah, we don't like club, right?
Yeah, we don't.
So
really
we
go.
don't do like the nightlife, like club and stuff like that. But we go
Yeah.
do more so like eating at restaurants,
Oh.
go and do events, whether it be nature or anything like that. So
Yeah.
we didn't do that much in America.
We
either.
never did.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
that's
did that
beautiful.
before. I met him.
That's beautiful because my
I don't know
question
about
was
him,
more
but-
was more about
Because I'm
was
older
praying.
than him, so I had passed the phase.
How old are her?
I'm 9 years older than him.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she's 36 and I'm
Yeah, just tell the
27.
world. Tell the world.
Yeah.
I thought y'all were
Yeah.
I thought y'all both like the same age.
Yeah, when we tell people that,
He
they
just
cannot
looks really
believe it.
old.
yeah.
Really? Like,
But
I'm
my
aging like that.
My question was because when we hear Osha talk about the clubs in the States and whatnot, they say if there's a fight that breaks out, some shooting may happen.
Oh, yeah.
So I just wanted to ask you, when you're in Africa and you're out and about in clubs or whatnot, do you have that fear or has it happened where it's like the guns going off or something like that?
I've never heard a gun go off.
Yeah,
in
we
Africa
haven't
since
been
being
to
here.
a club, but I've never even heard an argument since we've been anywhere in Africa that's made me go
Like,
you
scared,
know,
like, oh, they about
but
to
Right.
in America, it's like,
Yeah,
people
it's
are
just going
more
down.
aggressive.
It's more
likely
Yeah,
to
to escalate
go
to-
to blows, go to
Yeah.
shots. If I was in a club in America and somebody started fighting, I would get out of Dodge.
And the way they fight
'Cause
here,
you never know.
Yeah, the way it's
But not here.
I feel like the way they fight here is a little bit different too. Because most like altercations I see is more shoving and they're
Right.
wrestling each other in America. They
Ain't
punch
gonna be
you in
too
the
many
face,
pushes.
They stomping you. They
picking
It
people
ain't
up and
gonna be too
slamming
many
them in the
pushes.
ground,
yeah, ain't gonna be
At
too many
all.
You pushing,
Right.
then you about to get beat up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or shot.
Definitely
Why you
more
getting beat up at the
Why
same
you
time?
get beat up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more so now because it seems like people fight less as time goes. They fighting less and
fat.
shit more. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I feel honestly very safe, whether it be during the day or at night going out. I'll walk out at night, go to the store,
Where?
anywhere.
Oh.
I'm not about
we've
to.
walked in South Africa, Kenya.
Now I'm not gonna go to
Tanzania.
like in South Africa. I'm not about to
walk.
go to like Soweto or
Yeah.
to these other places that's more
Yeah.
dangerous. To walk out,
I wouldn't
that'd
walk
be
around
stupid.
in the hood at night in America. So
Yeah.
I
So,
wouldn't be
but if I'm
anywhere.
usually where we stay, it don't. We be
Right.
in more safer areas.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
that's what I say. That's what
Okay.
we recommend.
Right.
And so now I also saw your YouTube channel, which is burgeoning, it's blowing up. I saw that you're getting more views in South Africa because you showed me some analytics, stuff like that. How are the South Africans responding to your content as being as African Americans? Because there is this whole level of or idea, well, there is some what is the word? I'm so drunk now. What's the word when you don't like other groups in your same community?
Xenophobia.
There you go, xenophobia. I said it
Yeah.
before.
Is that in your same community?
Well,
in the same in the same
continent.
I thought
Continent,
that was
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's when you kill the
xenophobia.
other person, something.
I don't know.
So xenophobia is
It's like hating
hate
people
against
from
other countries in Africa, right?
Yeah.
They gave
Just
that
other
term to South
other
Africa.
groups.
Yeah.
So that is so. But as African Americans, there is a very good documentary about our people that's there called is it No Holds Bar or No Barriers? Africa with No Borders.
Okay.
Africa without borders.
Yeah.
It was in the 90s once the ANC took power,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a lot of African Americans that was coming in that came from Harvard MBA, and then they were really contributing to they were recruited by Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Africa with No Borders, and it was the first documentary of African Americans doing very well. Like we started stand-up comedy there. So how do you feel that we are treated, or we are like a group that doesn't experience that, you feel?
Yeah, I would say in South Africa, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we get a lot of that too about the xenophobia. And
We
should be
do.
careful. I'm saying that
people keep
other people
telling
us
us
that in South Africa
That wasn't
xenophobia
ours.
is bad.
No,
right?
it wasn't
So,
mine either.
yeah, we went there and we I mean, I don't know if it's because we're coming from America that we don't experience it, but we've been shown nothing but love. From
Do you think
South
we have
Africa.
African American privilege?
I never thought about it like that.
That's what Jones said.
Mess around and
Yeah.
say
Jones
something.
said that I have African American. So if like a beef in Africa, like Kenya versus Tanzania,
Yeah.
Uganda versus whatever, we're exempt from that.
So it's just the American part, you mean? Is that what you meant?
No, just as an African American. Once you open your mouth and they hear your accent.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so it's more
They
the
treat you
American
different.
part.
Yeah.
Because
Is
you're
it more
from
the American part?
That's
or
what
is
I'm
it the
saying.
more the?
Is it?
Is that what it is?
because
Is it
if,
that
we
we're
were
just
if
speaking
we were just
English?
African, then that'd be different. But
Right.
coming from America, I feel like we are looked at a bit different in these countries. But specifically South Africa, I would say that even when speaking to other African, like other people from different countries on the continent of Africa, for example, there's a lot of Uber drivers coming from like Zimbabwe, West Africa, all over, right? And we speak to a lot of them. We ask them, how do you like South Africa? How do you feel about it being here? And a lot of times they say they love South Africa,
Right.
and they've been there for tens of years, and they haven't really no need to go back to their country, right? And so I'm not saying that xenophobia doesn't happen, right? That is the discrimination part doesn't happen.
I
but
think we were discriminated against. Were we?
In a way.
What happened?
Hold
I
on.
think when we came
Story
back,
time, Jose.
So when we came back, we went to Cape Town, and when we came back,
yeah,
they stopped us to look through our bags in the airport. And we were at the small airport in wherever you go to fly from Johannesburg to Cape Town. And actually, when we walked out, we were just like, okay, they stopped and they randomly stopped people. We were like, okay.
yeah.
So we get outside, and there was a white lady, and she was like, I saw what they did. I am so sorry that happened. I was like, were they being racist? We didn't know.
So in the back of my mind,
Did they just like profile
I'm gonna add
us?
a little more to it because we were. So at first, I initially thought because we had a baby, that's why they were checking some of our stuff, right? And so I'm like, okay, we got a baby, that's fine. So they're checking our. Let me see your passport, just random stuff. I'm like, and everybody else just passing through.
Right.
And so I see, I think it was a white woman pass. She had her baby on her neck or something walking past. I'm
Yeah,
like,
then he was like, okay, it's not
like,
the
they ain't
baby.
stop her. And these were.
But we were still like, we don't know.
We
don't
didn't-
have any idea.
I don't know what that was.
You know.
And so when we walked outside, like, I was already thinking about it. Then the white woman came up to us, she was like, I want to apologize on behalf of all South Africans. That was a disgrace. And I was like,
Yeah, and then we was like, dang, maybe they was doing something. The white
it was
lady
some blacks
noticed.
doing it too,
Yeah.
probably, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me say this. Tati, remember we came back from Kenya? Was you with me? And remember there were some people that was asking for work permits or the visas. The white guy said I had a work permit. They didn't check him. They checked me. Is that the time? Was that it? Okay, I was coming from Dubai. Sorry.
yeah.
So
But even with that in Africa, I feel like we're treated differently than like quote unquote white Americans, right?
Right.
Like they look at us way different.
yeah.
right? And I feel
We're
like
still not white.
right.
Right.
You know, we might be American, but we're not
Do
white.
you take it personal?
Sometimes I'm gonna tell you this what I take personal, right?
Right.
So when we go into these countries, and for example, if we're at a restaurant or something like that, and the server's coming out serving different people, and they cater to the white people over us, right? It
Yeah.
bothers me because it's like, come on, I'm your brother. Like,
There
I'm
you
looking
go.
at
And
you
I'm
like,
paying
what?
my money.
Right, and little
That's
do you
how
know,
I
we
feel.
And I
tip
might
well.
tip up.
We
I
tip
was
well.
gonna tip
So I
you.
was
I
gonna
was
tip
gonna
you.
do it.
Now, since you don't want to, I'm not giving you anything.
Right.
But they think that, okay, since this
they
person,
assume that they're gonna get the money from the white person,
and that we're not gonna
So,
pay,
Right.
which is, I mean, it's kind of
That's right, baby. You right.
Yeah, she
Right.
deal with it too.
She know what we talking about.
Yeah. So okay. So now, are you? Because I know it was like you have like a big Kenyan base. I know that was
Yeah.
I won't get into that video because I was like, I'll do a reaction. I'm like, nah. But anyways, but you do have a big Kenyan fan base. It
Yeah.
seemed like a lot of people was sad to see
Yeah,
you leave
absolutely.
or choosing South Africa. Are you sold on South Africa? Is there a possibility that you may one day relocate to Kenya, quote unquote Uganda?
So we haven't said that we're like buying land and building a house, and like we said we need a home base. I need somewhere to leave my stuff
There you go.
while I continue to travel. And when I have downtime, I need a place to sit down.
There you go.
So it wasn't even like that because honestly, we really did love it in Kenya. And we didn't have no problem. We had a struggle in Rwanda, but everywhere else we had a really good time. And I'm sure we would have a great time there if we knew somebody, we haven't had just negative experiences at all since we've been to all of these countries.
And for sure, we would want to go back and visit again. As far as living there, I don't know. It's a possibility, but it's more so unlikely,
Right.
because we do like South Africa more. Now, I guess our journey moving forward would be, okay, we visited 5 different countries, mostly in East Africa, South Africa. Now we want to explore more of the continent.
Okay.
Right.
So going to places in West Africa, we want to experience that. We want to go to Ethiopia. So just seeing more countries to be able to make a better decision on that. Because right now we just haven't seen enough.
But we
South
like
Africa-
it here.
Yeah.
We only been here for a hot
Yeah,
second.
we like, so Uganda,
But it's real nice though.
y'all,
Yeah,
y'all- y'all
even
been running.
Mark meets Africa. He didn't show his ass back up here.
Mark been following
It's a
us for the
vibe.
last 2
Hey,
years.
it's a vibe in Uganda.
There's a story. Storytime music. There's a story that Mark beat you in a race. But
Mark,
he been
don't-
telling everybody. Yeah,
I'm
this-
looking
this
at him
was-
right there. Don't
He
make me
didn't say
expose you,
that.
Mark. I got
Mark
the video.
went blind
Body.
like that.
So your wife said you say something different.
Tell her the story.
What did you say,
Mark said
Mark?
something different. The wife said something
No,
different.
so Mark been out here telling people he beat me in a race because Mark,
Right.
it's his quest to race
Did he say
everybody in the
that? I
world.
didn't hear him
Yeah.
Is that what
say
he do? He want to race.
He raced when I first
He
met him.
wanted
He
to
wanted to
race
race
me
me.
too.
That's his quest.
He gonna race
He'll
the
ask
baby
anybody.
later.
He gonna ask you later.
No, I'm 42. I ain't got nothing for
Yeah,
him
but
right
he
now.
gonna try to. He want to embarrass you just because he's young.
Nah,
Right?
you can
Yeah.
race him. He was talking about his neck and his back earlier, so he might not be all there.
So we get
You
out
go
there,
ahead
right?
and get out
So
there.
this one we first met Mark. We reached out to him. He came and we met at a restaurant that we like to eat at usually.
Right.
So we come in and he's just been talking about, yeah, man, I've been racing all these people. And
he baits you in.
I've been just burning them.
race.
Like I was just burning everybody. Like
He's like,
everybody's
yeah.
slow here. He said, if I lose, I die. And I say, huh? You lose, you die. You a little dramatic. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, if I lose, I die. Now ain't nobody ever gonna beat me. I was like, all right, I play football. I'm an athlete. I'll race you.
Look at him. He's like,
You know what I'm saying? I'll race you.
Push his
So I
chest
took
out
my
a little bit.
so it was I had slides on. So I took my shoes off. I can't remember if he took his shoes off.
yes,
or
y'all
not.
were both.
But I
shoeless.
took my shoes off and we running. And the first time we ran, I'm thinking I thought we was running to her, right?
because I was filming.
Because she was filming. So we running and I think I beat you to her, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember.
No, it was a tie.
It was a tie.
It was a tie.
But
Is he fast?
Mark got some speed. Now, if I would have raced Mark when I was in his age, Mark would have been toast.
Ooh.
Mark would have been toast. But I ain't been
Rematch.
working out. But she said we end up tying. So
It
I got
was
the
a
video. I
tie.
might post that.
it was a tie. Because first of all,
He was going around telling everybody too.
No,
yeah, I
I'm
beat
having
the guy.
exposure.
Yeah,
You know,
he
Mark
did that.
talk like
Mark
a white
did
man.
say that.
Yeah, you know, I beat the guy in the race and everything. So, it was a very good. The
Guys.
diaspora race, I won.
This Mark is coming on the next episode, so he'll tell his side of the story.
Yeah.
We shall hear from him on the platform, okay? But yeah, guys, we've come to the end of this episode. Tell the people where they can find you. Your YouTube channels and your socials.
Yeah, our YouTube channel is Freedom Chasers. We got the shirt, so spell just it sounds
Can we buy that shirt?
soon.
order?
Soon. The only reason we haven't,
I'm
you
gonna work
can buy
to the
them in
club.
America online. We have them online. Do what you can.
I got a special price for you because I know you got it.
No.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, you can actually. If you're in America right now,
Mark got more money than me.
Or got
I
it.
got special price for you too.
Yeah. Come on, player.
But now you can buy these shirts online on our YouTube channel also. Only
Okay.
people in America right now, but we're going to start printing them here
Yeah.
too and selling them. But you can follow us at Freedom Chasers on YouTube, on Instagram, Freedom Chasers Life, and TikTok. I think is Freedom Chasers Life also.
Yes.
So that's
We'll put
our
it up
social
there.
media.
Okay, that's beautiful. Yeah, Oshay, where can they find you?
No, you know not to message me because I don't respond to y'all.
Okay. Yeah, guys, if you want to send us anything, you can email us at teamkenganda@gmail.com. And you can also follow us on all our social media pages at Kenganda Nation. Also subscribe to the Pan-African Dating Show. Mark may appear on there. He may come on the show. We'll see you guys next time.